How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Bitcoin is back. Not that it really went anywhere in the first place. There's just a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt in a lot of people's minds with Germany selling a bunch of Bitcoin. But as we've said on the channel, that is a short-term headwind. Now we're starting to move up, and who knows by the time you see this, but we're approaching a pretty key level. And we're all the way up at 59,000. Maybe we reclaim the 60,000 soon. We have some interesting data that has come out over the last few hours, and we have a fairly big week ahead with a lot of earnings. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. And if you want to trade cryptocurrency, there's a link to Margex underneath the video. You can get started in just a few seconds. Of course, always check the terms and conditions. They have a massive hamster airdrop where you can win up to $5,000, and it's all dependent on just how much you trade, how much volume you bring in. Now, CoinW is also a great place to trade as well. If you want to try that out, there's a link to it underneath the video where you can win up to 150-ton token, which has gone absolutely insane this year. All you have to do is use the link underneath the video, hit the join now button, and then you can start trading. Of course, check their terms and conditions as well, but you can trade all different kinds of assets on futures, which is leverage, and you can also trade just spot as well. Now, let's start here. We have a big week actually this week for earnings. We have more banks announcing earnings this week, and honestly, I didn't fully pay attention on Friday because there's PPI, but we had some bank earnings on Friday. We have more on Monday and Tuesday and throughout the week. But as you can see later in the week, we also have Netflix, which is really the first big tech company that's going to be announcing earnings. But we're going to have some other ones that people will be paying attention to, including United, Johnson & Johnson, Discover, Ally. You know, there are some big names in here too. So it will be an interesting week to watch for earnings. Until then, we don't really have too much in terms of economic data this week. It was a big week this last week. I guess the Fed Beige Book people will be paying attention to, and there are a couple other things as well. People always are paying attention to these numbers, or this information. But the week after, we have GDP and PCE, which is, those are two pretty big numbers that people will be paying attention to as well. Right now, though, you can see Bitcoin's starting to rebound. Bitcoin's up at 58,700, 58,800. And this is after Germany sold 42,000 Bitcoin in 1 week. 42,000 in a week, which is 250 Bitcoin per hour for 168 hours straight. So it's no wonder the market dipped. It's no wonder we went way down here. Now we're starting to recover a bit. As you can see, we fell below the 200-day moving average back on July 4. But now we're just a few $100s away from that, which is a key psychological level in a lot of people's minds. It would be nice to see us flip that back into support, get above 60,000 again, and that will be bullish. Now, as you can see too, minor capitulation reached levels comparable to when Bitcoin was 16,000. So the network hash rate drawdown was negative 8%. That's kind of crazy, or negative 7.6. This is similar to what happened after FTX, the market bottom back then. So, this has been pretty rough with a lot of miners having to unplug. There's been shifting of mining equipment and power behind the scenes. We have massive selling, but there are buyers. ETFs bought 5,360 Bitcoin yesterday. Just yesterday, July 12th. $311 million worth. BlackRock bought the majority, 2,080 Bitcoin. Fidelity, 2,000. Bitwise, 490. GBTC actually bought 400 Bitcoin, which is $24 million worth. So there are big buyers behind the scenes. This week, ETFs purchased 18,420 Bitcoin. Big week of buying. If you take out 1 week, week 22, this is the most buying that we've seen since week 10, which is, 4 months basically. This is the second best week in 4 months that we've seen from the Bitcoin ETFs. And it does seem like it's actually moving up the price. Sometimes it doesn't actually move up the price because there's carry trading. Who knows? Maybe there's some other big buyer, but it does seem like it's affecting the price. Mr. 100 also bought some Bitcoin, 200 Bitcoin yesterday, another 100.2 Bitcoin here today. So kind of interesting. Now, again, if you do want to trade this market, if you want all indicators that you can get on TradingView, which is what is probably the best charting platform out there, the most well-known one, you can do that through Margex. I actually have been charting, as you can see here, the 200-day moving average, which is nice because then everything's in one spot for when you want to trade. Something else that was really cool too, I haven't talked about this in a while, but we created our own algorithm that tells you when it might be a good time to dollar cost average into the market. As you can see here, the dollar cost average function popped up back in May when we were around 56,000, marking the exact bottom. It was off a little bit here. It said it probably would make sense to DC at 58,300, but then we moved back up to like 64K. So again, a pretty good time, honestly. And then it nailed the exact bottom again with it being right around July 3 through 5, 6. So yeah, if you want to check that out, there are links to it underneath the video. Of course, you have to understand what you're doing because it does shift depending on the time frame you're looking at. But pretty cool there. It's been really right on with a lot of these. Now, the Bitcoin Nashville conference is coming up. There are some big headliners: Donald Trump, Russell Brand, Cathie Wood, Michael Saylor, Robert F. Kennedy, Edward Snowden, Bill Miller the fourth. If you want to check this out, I'm sure some of this is going to be online, but if you want to go in person, these are really cool. I've said that in the past. Like, I do videos usually around these conferences. I do them throughout the entire conference, but I explain like some of the stuff that I'm seeing behind the scenes. And usually there's some pretty fun parties. There's some money being thrown around in bull markets. If you want to check this out, there is a discount code with my link underneath and with the code underneath too, so you can get an extra 10% off. But yeah, definitely check that out. It should be a fun time. Let me know what you think about this market in general. I mean, obviously we're rebounding a little bit. Who knows what happens? We could always fall right back down by the time you even see this. But it does seem like the massive overhang of Germany selling 50,000 Bitcoin is gone. I mean, that caused us to fall down, $10,000 or something like that. It does seem like that's gone. It seems like we're reclaiming or close to reclaiming the 200-day. Hopefully we don't get rejected too bad there. Hopefully we flip that into support. And then, yeah, maybe we continue to get the Bitcoin swallowed up by Bitcoin ETFs, the Bitcoin conference. Maybe there's some big news there. We go into a time of looser monetary policy, and people are looking to allocate towards something that has a little bit more risk, a little bit more upside with lowering interest rates. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Let me know if there's anything that I'm missing. I mean, I will say too, I do not hold XRP, but I noticed it's up 16% here today. 16.6%. It's a pretty good day. I looked to see if there was any news. I couldn't really find any, but I mean, to be fair, this is pretty much the same range it's been in. Like, if you go over the last 1 year, it's just been back and forth, pretty much between about 48 cents and 70 cents. It's fluctuated here several times. This time it fell actually a good amount lower. It fell down to 42 cents. So just kind of interesting. Let me know your thoughts though on all this and what you're buying maybe, or if you're just sitting there watching and thinking, man, maybe I should have bought a little bit more Bitcoin. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.